so glad we're doing this. Finally. I'm sorry I've been gone so long, truly, but it's been not easy ever since. I'm sure you've heard bits, but if you want to hear from me, right from the source, I was on the one train between 23rd and 28th, and I just split in half. Or rather, a whole other me sprang out of me. I felt a pulling on one half of my body, and suddenly, before we pulled into the station, there was just another me looking at me, dressed exactly like me, just about an inch smaller. And he looked at me, and he didn't seem nearly as shocked as I did. And he got off at 28th, and I, of course, jumped right off the train at 34th and headed back downtown and got off at 28th. And there I am, above ground, in front of that shitty Dunkin' Donuts, or just Dunkin' now. I'm pretty sure they did a whole rebrand. They lost half, I gained half. I mean, fucking irony. And I'm standing there, looking into a whole crowd of people, going one way or another, like, hello? Have you seen another smaller me running around? And then I spot him, and he's just casually sitting on a bench, waiting for a bus, smoking a cigarette, and I don't smoke. And I want to say something like, I want to say something like, the fuck, but I don't. It's like a feeling over me, like I knew this person. Like when I got close to them, their desires were my desires, and my desires were theirs. I just intrinsically knew them, which of course they are literally me, just smaller, just a marginally tinier me. And so I say to this me that sprang out of half of me, I say, hello. And it looks back at me, or he says, tu étais toujours censé être dans la moitié. Est-ce que la moitié d'entre vous qui connaît la français, vous constaterez que quelqu'un d'entre vous ne connaît plus le français. C'est moi maintenant. And I had no idea what he meant. So I had him repeat it, and I recorded it and put it through Google Translate, and it translated to, you were always meant to be in half. I am the half of you that knows French. You will find that none of you knows French anymore. That's me now. So essentially, the thing that sprang out of me was just a smaller, more Parisian me. And in the process, I lost all the French I ever knew. Just like that, I robbed it from me. And then came a long series of him telling me everything about his goals in life, how he would live on the French Riviera, how he would paint and drink wine and flaneur the streets of Paris, Marseille, Toulouse, Nice, Bordeaux. And he tells me he would live his entire French life, the kind he and I dreamed when he and I was with Mathieu. And I asked who Mathieu was, and he said, you should know, you were with him for 2 years. But I couldn't remember him. And then the me that knew French's bus came and got on it, and I never saw him again. And I never remembered who Matthew was. And I was in the middle of thinking, what the hell? And then I felt this pulling from my right side, and then out another me came. And this one was also just slightly smaller. And when he burst out of me, he sprinted full speed into a Best Buy, and I found him at the musical keyboards playing a full sonata. And when I got home and sat at my piano, I couldn't play. Just wasn't there. No more music, no more French. And then another me burst out, and then another, and it was a whole slew of me stealing from me. The one who was good at running, the one who was funny, the one who was poetic, the one who was good at sex, the one who responded to emails, the one who knew my passwords, right? The one who missed Brian, who Brian is, I don't know, the one who cooked, who made plans, who has an eye for fashion. All of these me's just free-flowing out of me at all hours of the night. I haven't slept. And with each one, I became less and less, less and less something. I certainly didn't remember half the things that I suddenly, with each fraction of me, I felt dividing. I felt like I was within reach of myself. Here's the scary thing that keeps me up at night. What am I forgetting that I'm forgetting? That, of course, spirals into how many divisions of me are across the city, the country, the globe. And that spirals into, how do I know that I am actually me and that I'm not some half of a half of a half of me? It spirals into, am I me? What is a me? How do I know that me is even a thing anymore? It spirals to, do you lose meanings with each additional you? It spirals to, am I just an idea? It spirals to, what is an idea? It spirals to, what if I tried to eat every half of a half of me? Would I become whole again? It spirals into, what is a whole? spirals into are numbers made up, spirals into I'm a fraction, spirals into and into and into and into and into, and I can keep going that way, keep winding that way, but I have chosen not to. I've decided to reclaim my singularity. I have consciously decided that whichever me I am is the me that I am, and maybe I'll split again, and maybe I'll forget who you are, or what I'm doing, or why I'm here, or why anything is anything, or I'll never learn French again. The point is, maybe for me to exist, I need to just be present. So I'm working on being present. And that required me to be alone for a long time, and so I was gone until now. But I'm so glad you came over. This really is a gorgeous rooftop, isn't it?